Hi, I'm going to do a trigger point demonstration. And so first of all, this is my first time doing this, so bear with me, thanks. When you do trigger point, one of the most important things to do is breathe and relax. For example, if you ever went to see a massage therapist, the first thing they're going to do is tell you to breathe and relax, because the more you breathe and relax, the more effective the whole process is going to be. Now with trigger point, this is called the footballer. This is a little block, and the very important reason for that block is so that when you put your foot up there, your leg up there, your foot and ankle can be completely and totally relaxed. And we're gonna start with the lower leg, and this area here from about where the Achilles is to the middle of the calf is called the soleus area. And so what we do is put the footballer to the far edge of the block, and we place our leg up there just like this. Again, keeping the foot and the ankle completely and totally relaxed. Ideally, you want to be able to put your other foot on top, and so you bend the knee, raise the knee, until your heel touches the back of the block. And we're going to repeat this 6 to 8 times, carefully and slowly. And so the combination of the breathing and rolling is what's going to increase elasticity in that area. After you do it 6 to 8 repetitions, take the top leg off and do 2 circles one way, 2 circles the other way, and that's going to increase blood flow and oxygen to the area that you just rolled. Then you're going to internally rotate the leg, so you're going to get another area called the where the posterior tibialis is. Then you're going to put the other leg on top and repeat that 6 to 8 knee raises. Okay, breathing, relaxing. It's real important to just breathe and relax when you do this. And notice I'm not up on my I'm not coming up on my butt. I'm just, my butt's just flat on the floor, just staying still. Again, after that 6 to 8, then do the 2 circles one way, 2 circles the other way. And then what we're going to do is slightly rotate to the outside. Now you may notice too, I'm always starting to where the footballer is at the far edge of the block. That's so that I can have the full depth of the block to roll. So now I'm on the outside. This is position 3. Again, repeating 6 to 8 knee raises. And this is really a lot like deep tissue massage, do it yourself. Okay? Breathing, relaxing. Again, 2 circles one way, 2 circles the other way, following to increase blood flow and oxygen. You can also go back and forth like this a little bit. Now, anytime you do something on one side, you want to repeat it on the other side. So we're going to repeat this. Okay, and if it's too tender, then the modification is take that top leg off. So tender but tolerable is the guideline. So we're going to put that on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 circles one way, 2 circles the other way. And then we're going to internally rotate, put the other leg on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, good job, 8, top leg off, 2 circles one way, 2 circles the other way, and now slightly externally rotate and repeat the 6 to 8 knee raises. And so the positions are neutral or with the foot straight up, and then internally rotated, and then externally rotated. And so you do 6 to 8 repetitions of the knee raise, followed by the circles with your ankle, 2 circles one way, 2 circles the other way. Here's the circles, 2 circles one way, 2 circles the other way, a little bit of back and forth. Great. And after I do that, I like to do a little self-massage with the foot sometimes. Lengthwise this way, and then also maybe a little bit of cross friction this way. And you can do it pretty deep as long as you don't aggravate anything. I also like to kind of clasp my thumbs behind the heel like this, and then use my forefingers to really massage around the whole heel. It's just a really good way to get a little bit of extra self-massage, work the tension out of that foot. So much of people's problems are in the foot and the lower leg. So that's why I always like to start with the lower leg. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take a trigger point ball. We're gonna place it right on top of the block. And then now we're gonna work more in the upper calf. And we're gonna divide the upper calf into 2 parts, the lower and the upper. We're gonna put that calf right on the trigger point ball, straighten the leg, and then what you're gonna do is slap that foot forward, 1, 2, 3, and then roll it around on there a little bit. Each time you slap that foot, the ball's gonna penetrate through the superficial muscles of that leg to the deeper muscles. Then what I'm gonna do is place it a little bit higher and do that same method again. 1, 2, 3. And if you want a little more intensity, because that's quite tolerable, then you can put the other leg on top. 1, 2, 3. And it's just sort of a slap forward. And then I like to massage it a little bit more. You can even roll over to one side and put your hand on the top and give it a little more. So you're basically pinning your leg in between your top hand and the ball, giving a little bit of massage. And anytime you do this, once again, you want to breathe, relax. It's not about how hard you go. It's about how much you breathe and relax. Kind of think of it as how good can you get at relaxing, okay? So again, the combination of your body weight on the tools along with the rolling is what's increasing elasticity, and that's gonna make for more efficient walking and running. So now that we did it on that side, I'm gonna go and repeat it on this side. So I'm gonna place the ball right underneath there, straighten the leg, put the other leg on top if you can. If you can't, if it's too tender, take that top leg off. 1, 2, 3, roll it around a little bit, and then place it in another position. And you can do this at 2 or 3 positions. For purposes of this video, I'm just gonna do it in a couple. 1, 2, 3. It's Tuesday night, by the way, and I just got done doing about a 5-mile walk, so this is feeling really good. I'm gonna roll it around a little bit, then I'm gonna shift over onto my right hip and roll it a little bit more like that. Okay, great. Now I'm gonna demonstrate one of my favorite techniques. It's called pinning. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put one ball underneath the calf, the other ball on top of the calf, directly on top. Then I'm gonna take a palm here, and I'm not gonna go hard, I'm just using my upper body weight. And I'm just gonna do tiny little circles like this. And then I can go down this way, kind of like, think about kneading bread or something like that. And I'm gonna work in one little area for probably not more than 15 or 20 seconds. And then I'm gonna move that ball. I'm gonna go to another area, work it a little bit more. And this is, again, one of my really favorite techniques for self-massage or trigger point therapy. I put a lot of information about trigger point therapy on a link to the blog post on our website. And again, I'm gonna shift over and try to equal this out into my other side too. So one ball on the bottom, one ball directly on top, and tiny little circles. Think about like the size of a dime, something small. And again, it's not hard. I'm not going hard. I'm just working on one little area. And when you feel a release, or you have some tension in there and then you feel it go away, that's a release. Then you can move the ball to another area and work that area. Okay, great. Now I'm going to show you another one where you're working on the front. So if you can feel the bone right there on your shin, go just to the outside or lateral of the bone, about 2/3 of the way up. And if you hold that ball right there with your foot suspended and move your leg up and down like this, you can feel some tension release there. You can also take that ball and gently roll it up just to the outside of that bone area, okay? And that's a way that you can work out some of the tension that's in the front of your lower leg, just like that. You'd be amazed at how much tension is there that you didn't realize was there, okay? And again, I'm gonna do it on the other side here. Remember to breathe, relax. When you feel that tension or you feel yourself tensing up, that's a good key to just maybe stop, have a reset, and relax a little bit, okay? Now, I'm gonna shift over to the quad baller, which is bigger, okay? So here's the foot baller, it's smaller. Here's the quad baller, it's a little bit bigger. And now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna place it in the middle of the mat. And what we're gonna do next, we're gonna go from the knee to the hip in the front. And then we're gonna go at the angle here. So we're gonna get the vastus medialis, and then we're gonna get the vastus lateralis. And the way we do this, you're gonna get into somewhat of a plank position, okay? So kind of in this plank, and the placement is just above my knee. And I'm gonna do baby rocking motions. Okay, my belly's not touching the floor, baby rocking motions, and I'm gonna slowly go away from you and the other direction. And so the quad baller is gonna go up my quad, okay? And I'm gonna slowly work my way to where it's all the way up to the hip. And breathing, relaxing. If you feel an area of tension, what you can do is stop the baby rolling, do a hamstring curl, and then move your leg back and forth like this. It might increase the intensity, and if you can't tolerate it, then don't do that part, and then release, okay? And then keep on doing those baby rocking motions, okay? Breathing, relaxing, until you get all the way up to the hip area, right where if you were doing raising your knee, standing up, it's right there where it goes, where it flexes, okay? And then, so you're all the way there, and then I just come up to my hands and knees like this and tap that quad baller back to the center. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shift my body so that I'm about a 45-degree angle. So the quad baller, instead of up the front of my leg, it's gonna go in the corner right here like this. So what you do, you're back there again, and I'm gonna shift this way, okay? So now you can kind of see I'm at about a 45-degree angle, and I'm gonna repeat that baby rocking motion from just above the knee all the way up to the hip area, okay? Breathing, relaxing. Now I guarantee you, when you get about 2/3 of the way up, you're gonna feel some tension. This vastus lateralis is a muscle that's used quite a lot when you walk and run. And on most of the clients that I've done this trigger point session with, probably 99% of them feel the tension about 2/3 of the way up at this 45-degree angle. So once again, just breathe, relax. If you get any cramping or anything, you can just stop and walk around, loosen up a little bit, and then try it again. And as you can see, I'm supported by 3 points. My right forearm here, my left hand here, and my knee right there. So you can put a little more pressure on those 3 areas to take a little pressure off the quad that you're working on. And the other thing you can do, if you can tolerate it, you can do a hamstring curl and then put your foot back and forth like I'm showing, and then relax, and then continue on that baby rocking motion again until you get up to the hip. Now, sometimes people ask if they should go directly on the IT band. I'm going to suggest not going directly on the IT band. I would rather have you do 2 passes up the corner here than to go directly on the IT band, because it could aggravate it more. Okay. Now I'm going to show you a method for the inside. So we did the front, then we did the corner here. Now we're going to get the vastus medialis, or the inside. And the way we do that is we're going to put the quad baller right there. Okay, now we're at about a 90-degree angle to it here. And I'm just going to roll it this way. Doesn't take much. That's a pretty sensitive area. My hip is actually down about 30 degrees, but my leg is perpendicular to the tool. And I'm just going to roll it this way a little bit. You can even go up like this, and you'll feel it, I guarantee it. Usually feel this quite a bit more when I bike. We really use that area a lot. So just a little bit like that. Great. Now I'm going to repeat the other side. So quad ballers back to the center of the mat. I'm going to get in that plank position. Okay. I'm going to do these baby rocking motions, starting just above the knee. And I'm working my way away from you. Sometimes for this knee, I'll put a little a knee pad there to support my knee a little bit, because it's kind of uncomfortable sometimes on the hard floor, but I'm positioning it so that it's on the fatty part, not the bony part. And then once again, you can, I don't know if you can see it, there we go. I'm just doing a little hamstring curl and then going back and forth to work. It's kind of like a bonus move. I have more bonus moves too, called scrubbing, but that'll be for another day. So I'm all the way up, almost to the hip. Okay, and then I'm gonna come up, tap it. Now I'm gonna shift to that 45-degree angle. Okay, so this way, and then start back at the baby rocking motions. I think I'm gonna reverse this just so you can see what it looks like from the other direction. So I'll go this way. Maybe you can see that a little bit differently. There we go. So I'm doing the baby rocking motions, feeling it from my walk today for sure. It's a beautiful day out there, though. You know, there was hail earlier this afternoon, and when I went out for the walk with John, it didn't hail, so that was kind of bonus. Okay, there we go. And now I'm going to shift to this way. Now I'm getting the vastus lateralis, or the vastus medialis. Okay. All right. Now, the next one I'm going to show you is with the trigger point ball, and I'm going to go in the piriformis. And so for the piriformis, that's right there. I'm going to actually have the ball right. If you were wearing blue jeans, right where your pocket is, that's where you want to, that's your landmark. So what I'm doing now initially is I have my weight bearing on both feet and both hands. So not a lot on the ball right yet. As I can start to tolerate it, I'm going to put a little more weight on that ball. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to externally rotate and adduct the hip. That's this position. And then I'm going to go this way. It's not so much motion in the knee, it's more the hip. Okay? And that piriformis, when it gets tight, we call it piriformis syndrome. It's actually a tight butt, but not the good kind of tight. This way, and then I'm going to put my foot back down, and I call it explore the butt. So I'm exploring the butt. I'm just rolling on that ball a little bit higher and a little bit more to the outside, and you can really feel it there. And then I'm going to shift over to the other side. So again, most of the weight bearing is on my hands and feet until I can acclimate a little bit to the ball. And then I'm going to externally rotate and abduct the hip, and then do this motion here. And then explore the butt. And it feels really good. Okay. Now I'm going to show you the psoas. The psoas is a muscle deep here that connects your femur, comes through your pelvis, and to the back of your lower back, the lower vertebrae. Or, yes, the lower. So the way we're going to do this, the landmark is the belly button, and you're going to go just to the outside of the belly button. You're going to get a little blood flow right there first. And then what we're going to do is place the ball in that area, okay? And the idea is that you're going to pull your hands and forearms toward you. They're not really moving, but you're pulling them toward you, and it's going to pull your belly into that ball, okay? And so you breathe, and you're going to simultaneously do deep breaths while you're pulling your hands and forearms into the ball, and then raise your head up, head and shoulders up like this. And a little trick, if you can see, but you can kind of shift forward and backward just a little bit, side to side a little bit. You're going to feel a tension, and the question is how do I know I'm on it? You'll know you're on it, okay? There's going to be some tenderness, and if it's too much, then don't do this one. This one's a little bit harder to find, but once you find it and you release this psoas on your own, it can do amazing things to relieve low back tension. It's just awesome, okay? That's on the right side. Now I'm going to shift over and do the left side. So I'm going to get a little blood flow to that area to loosen it up a little bit. Again, it's just to the left of the belly button. And for me, it's down just slightly, okay? So then I'm going to lay down on that ball right there. Hands and forearms out like this. Some people call this a cobra position. I think cobra is probably more like this, but I can get it if I extend my hands out a little bit more. Pull your hands and forearms in, take a deep breath, head up, and breathe. Big deep breaths. Again, a little tip is a little bit of backward or forward, backward, and a little bit of side to side can help you find it. Okay, doesn't take much. Great one for the psoas. Okay, now the last one I'm going to show you is for the pecs. Well, actually pecs, and there's two more. Pecs and then upper traps. So the pecs, you're going to put the ball right about there, palm here, this elbow up, this elbow down. We're going to do little circular motions this way, okay? And you can actually take the block, get a little leverage. And so when you're doing a lot of motions with your shoulders forward, key work or whatever there, you get a lot of tension in the front, but you don't feel the tension here, you feel it here. So it's really good to release the tension that's in the front. That will take some of the pressure off the back. So again, place the ball here. You can use the block for a little bit of leverage, okay, and roll it over towards your armpit. This is an awesome one. I'm gonna do the other side a little bit. Okay, now I'm gonna take the ball, go right on my upper trap right there. So I'm on this is my right hand and I'm reaching over to my left, and I'm gonna almost use this part of my hand for right against the scapula in the front. And you're just gonna roll it like that. Feels so good right at that naughty area right there. Oh, so good. And then you also want to get the other side. Oh, and then when I get done, I like to stand up, do some backward shoulder rolls, do a little stretching, and there you go. That's a trigger point session. Next time.